Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday Tub Talks with Teri. This is Miss Gina.
Hello.
She is sitting in our tub, and as you can see, she has some sparkly flamingos with her today. So I'm going to let her explain why there are flamingos in her tub talk.
Teri had flamingos in her studio, and I thought I better represent Transcona.
So if you're from Winnipeg, it's not really part of Winnipeg, according to most people, but it is part of Winnipeg at the same point. Hopefully you can hear us despite that loud truck driving by. Anyways, today what we're going to talk about is getting stuck in the mom trap and how you can get out of it, as Gina has, to pursue your own things and still be you as well as a mom, and staying true to who you are as a person, which is both good for yourself and your children because it shows them that they can do anything, basically. So Gina, tell us about your businesses and what you do aside from being mom.
Besides from being mom. Okay, I have my own photography business as well.
Which I'll try to link in the thing.
Yes,
if I
photography
remember.
by Gina Elmere. And also I crochet like a mad person with may or may not, and which is also on Instagram and the Facebook and all the things. So those are my businesses that keep me busy.
Busyness.
Busy, yeah.
So when did you find, like, was there a point then when you had found that you had stopped doing the things that made you Gina as opposed to just being, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
where you were like, oh my God, like, I don't even remember who Gina is anymore and I'm just mom. Like, did that happen to you?
Well, with my second child, my children now are almost 5 and 2. And with my second, I had pretty bad postpartum, but didn't really realize it until the fog had finally lifted, and I was like, wow, actually I should have probably got help when I was there going through it. But in my mind, it's like, that would never happen to me, I'm better than that, no way, right? But
Because it's not something people talk about,
well, exactly.
or
It's
they
not
judge.
something- Exactly. But you want to be the Facebook mom, you want to be the Pinterest mom, you want to be perfect like everybody else that you see on social media, but that's not real. You're only seeing the good glimpses of everybody's lives, right? So now, when I had Lennon, I kind of got to a point where, and it wasn't even really the business side, it was, who am I? I don't even know who I am anymore. I'm so far from the person that I was before, the person that I want to be. How did I get to this? Like, I'm married, I have kids, I have all these, I have all these things, but when did anybody ever ask what Gina wanted? Like, what do I want?
Yeah.
So I've had my photography business for 3 years now. It'll be 3 years at the end of this month. Stay tuned for happy birthday pictures.
Yay, get excited.
And so I had continued to do that, and I actually started crocheting when I had Lennon, when I was on mat leave. I taught myself how. My sister kind of taught me how to read a pattern, and it just blew up from there.
Yeah, she does crazy stuff. I got a little hat for winter. I'm excited to finally wear it.
Yeah.
Because I got it in July,
Yeah.
I think is when I actually got it. So I was like, it'll be good for the winter. It's good. But and you just did the mermaid tail thing I saw, and that's pretty epic. So if you like mermaids, hit her up.
Yeah,
that's
the mermaid tail is quite popular, and the shark blanket.
And they probably
and also
take
popular.
forever to make.
Yeah,
So get your orders in if you want it for Christmas, is what we're saying.
So I taught myself how to do all these things, and I
keep going.
Like, after the depression, after the kind of the aha moment of I'm gonna go back to taking care of myself. You're so popular.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot to mute everything. Wait 1 second. Okay, so it won't be muted, but you'll just keep hearing dings. It just means I'm popular. Just go with it.
So I ended up going to therapy, which I talk about. I don't care. It's good. I love it. It brought me back to who I am now. I'm a lot happier. I have a lot more clarity.
Awesome.
I don't feel like the stressed out, like, soccer mom type of thing, and enjoy doing my own businesses and enjoy spending time with my kids. Like, on my days that I have to work on my own businesses, that's all I work on. And then in the evening, I can spend time with my husband and my kids.
Yeah.
So that I'm not working all day. I ended up going back a little while. I ended up quitting my day job and taking on a part-time job where I job share with somebody, which is amazing. So I have 7 days off in a row every 2 weeks. So
that's so good.
Yeah, I can focus on my stuff and then spend time with my family, because my husband's like, okay, well, where do I fit into this whole thing, right?
Yeah, and that's another thing that happens a lot when kids come along.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. And just being able to work during the day and then spend time with my kids at night.
Yeah.
So So what I used to do is work at the office job all day, go home, try to do my personal business stuff. So I'd end up yelling at my kids, or I'd be like, go away from me, Tyler. I don't want anything to do with it. It's like, I'm busy.
I've got things to do.
Right? And just like stressed out, because that's what it is, right? So after a while, I just thought, life is way too short.
Yeah.
Like a few of my friends were diagnosed with cancer back home, young, like with late 30s, mid to late 30s.
Yeah.
And it puts everything into perspective. It's
yeah.
like, you know what? We're only here one time. This is all we have. Let's make the best of it. Why be miserable and stressed out when you can do stuff that you love?
Yeah.
And then still, like, everything just works out.
That's the thing, and I think that's the one thing that lots of people are afraid of, or things like that. They're like, oh, but what if the money, like it always comes back to money, which is really unfortunate, and I hope eventually our world changes so it's not revolving around that anymore, and people can just do the things that they're meant to do, like the things that light you up inside. Like that's what everyone would be happier, but then I guess the prescription companies wouldn't be as happy because then people wouldn't need drugs to feel happy or feel numb because they hate their lives as much. Yeah. But going back to the mom thing, though, it's very important for your kids to see, obviously, that you not only are you working for your family, like what you love to do is also bringing in money to support your family, so you can have it all, essentially, and that you don't have to work 40 hours at a job you hate to be able to, bring home money to support your family or whatever. So I think that's a big thing. Lots of people, well, I've got kids. Like they always say to me, you don't understand because you don't have kids. No, my sister's an entrepreneur. Same thing, 3 kids. They're fine. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like you make do with what you have to do to make it work. And that's an amazing role model to have for your kids.
Yeah, and just to say, like, many, many years ago, I said, I always wanted to do dancing. I always wanted to be a dancer. And my boss at the time, she's like, so why don't you do it now? And I was just like, whoa. Like that little thing. But I was like, why can't I? And that was before I even had kids. But then I thought, you know what? Why can't I do these things? So I went back to voice lessons.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm not like...
No, but you did it for you, and that's the thing.
Exactly. I just like to play around with it and have fun. And to show my daughter that, you know what, women in society can do whatever they want and still be successful at it.
Yes.
And like empower her, because now the focus is a lot different, right? It's my kids that I want to learn from what I'm doing, because I want them to have an even better life.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's still like it's funny because the whole thing is you become mom and like you let it take over your life, right? Because you're trying to care for your kids, whatever, and you're trying to be the perfect mom, whatever it is. But in reality, the best thing you can do as a mom is be true to yourself to show your kids that, hey, like whatever your thing is, like own it, accept it, and do it. Like, and be happy with your life. Like live a happy life. Like don't hate your life. Like don't get lost in the trap that so many women do when they do become moms, is they forget about themselves. They're always on the back burner. Like lots of my clients are that way. And then finally they're like, like I deserve to be. Right. I deserve to take care of myself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of everyone else.
Well, exactly. And then, because a lot of moms I know, they're like, I feel so selfish for doing those things. It's like, don't, because if you take care of yourself first, just kind of like if you love yourself first, then you'll find the right partner. Yeah. It's the same thing when you have a partner and you are a mom. Once you love yourself, the rest just kind of falls into place. It's like I can't remember where I was going to go. I derailed my train.
Because of the truck that drove by.
Yeah,
that's okay. These are totally unscripted. That's why. But basically, I think it's really important, especially because you do have a daughter. That's the like not saying that boys should see hardworking women too.
No, I have a son too, and you're right. Like I want. I never want my son to get married. I want him to live with me for the rest of his life. No, but honestly, when he does meet a woman, I want him to say like, okay, I'm not intimidated by her because she is strong, because she is independent.
And she's going to do her thing.
And not falsely, right? Like, I think there's women that try, in a way, and kind of fake it till you make it. But I used to do that. I'm strong and I'm this and I'm that, but I really
inside
wasn't.
You were
inside
breaking.
I wasn't, right? Yeah. But now I feel, and like you said, the light is on the inside, but it radiates and it attracts those type of people into your life. And it's awesome. It's a really great, it's a great thing.
Awesome. So what would your advice be to a mom that is sitting at home and she's like, oh, I really would like to start dancing. Like
Right.
that was a thing. Or like how, but I can't because childcare, because da 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 da. You know, there's all these things.
Right.
What would you suggest?
Well, those are all excuses. Just do it.
She's a hard ass like me, guys.
Yeah.
Say hello.
My family does not live here. Like, I have great friends that help me out with my kids. I have my husband's family's here. They help a little bit with the kids too, but it's like, you just do the things. So you phone somebody and say, hey, you know, I would really like to do this, even if it's just once, like go to Zumba class or whatever, something you've really wanted to do for a long time. Or, hey, you know what, I used to paint, or I used to draw, or I used to do these things when I was younger, but since I've had kids, I don't do them anymore. It's like, why not? Why don't you do them? Because you should.
Oh, well, I don't have time.
Yeah.
Like, I have kids.
Don't talk to me about not having time. I
Yeah.
have two of my own businesses, I have 2 kids, I'm
Yeah.
married, and I work a part-time job. So
Yeah. Yeah. No sympathy from Gina, ladies and gents. None at all. Yeah. So basically what she's saying is stop making excuses and
Right.
do your thing. Because the thing too is, let's say, okay, you can't find childcare for whatever reason it might be, incorporate your kids into whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's really important though for you to have your own time. Like, that is important. As an independent human, you, like, man, woman, whatever, like, you do need time to be by yourself. But if you're still like, oh, my children, whatever the excuse is, paint with them, dance with them, sing with them, like,
I do a lot of
exercise
stuff after
with them.
Yeah, exactly. I do a lot of stuff after the kids go to bed too, or at nap time or whatever. Like, my son still naps, my daughter doesn't. But I'll say, okay, let's do craft time, and then just kind of do my own thing while she's doing her craft.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you do it. Just take that leap. Don't feel guilty because you feel like you're not spending enough time with your kids. I feel like that's just,
because the thing too is they need alone
Yes,
time
yeah.
for them to develop their own
Yeah.
like on how to handle things. Like,
Yeah.
they can't have I'm not a parent, so
No, you're
okay,
right, though,
feel
yeah.
feel free to berate me. But I've been around my nieces and nephews
Yeah.
enough to know that, like, kids need their alone time to play by themselves
Yeah.
and not constantly be stimulated or fed the answers to certain things, which is easy for us to do
Yeah.
because we are impatient
Yeah.
while they're asking questions.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, no, you go, you figure it out, and then come back if you still haven't figured it out, right?
Yeah,
So I think that's
exactly.
important. So is there anything else you would like to tell our lovely listener viewers?
Just do your thing.
Yes, and be a good role model
Yeah,
for
be a
your
good role
children if you are a mom, which
Yeah.
most of you probably are being good role models. Let's put it out there that way too,
Yes.
because everyone second guesses their parenting choices, whatever it is. And there are some people that are really mean and like, oh no, like
Yeah.
don't bottle feed, you should breastfeed,
Right.
and
No.
don't put your kid to bed this way, you have to do it this way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Every kid is different because what happens with one kid, you have 2.
Yeah.
I'm sure your first kid is way different than your second
Yeah,
kid.
absolutely. And be kinder to yourself. Like, I know I used to beat myself up a lot. Like, oh, I'm not that good of a mom, or I'm blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, you know what? I see my kids and how awesome they both are. And I'm like, you know what? I'm doing a really good job. I'm just, you know, like, I've made my mistakes. I have my moments where I'm
Yeah.
just not the greatest mom in the world. But you know what? At the end of the day, they're both like, I love you, Mom. So it's like,
And they're still alive.
yeah.
So.
And they're still, well, no, it is a big, huge accomplishment.
Well, that's the thing. Every day you're like, yep, we're doing okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like, and I think that's a big thing that people need to understand. Like, you do need to take that time for yourself to be okay for your kids. Like, so, yeah. So that is everything for today's Tub Talk, everyone. So stay tuned for next episode. Thank you and bye. No, wait for it.